Welcome back, boys and girls, to our second session of junk journaling. Before we get started on our project today, I wanted to show you that other way of putting together your junk journal. Instead of doing the hole punches like we did previously, this is an easy method too. If you have a really thin elastic that has some stretch to it, what you want to do is open up your journal to the center page. And then just take this elastic and put it right through the middle. And then just kind of realign all your little pages so that they're in there. The nice thing about this is you don't have holes to worry about decorating around, and you can actually slide out a piece if you want to decorate it, work on a flat surface, and then tuck it back in after we're done. So I have done that with the journal that we made previously. I took out my strings and I've just put an elastic on there for now. So today our project is going to be using text paper, drawing a simple little silhouette of a flower or bird or sailboat, something easy, and then we're going to color in around it or inside it. So there's a mirror image, and if you have two pieces of paper with text on them, you might want to do a mirror image. So one you'll color the background, and the other you'll leave the background and color in the picture. Here's another one that I had done just on a music sheet of paper, and I colored in the whole thing and then just left a spot there to put in the word sing. Entirely up to you how you want to decorate this. So I'm going to use this little piece of paper here, and I've already sketched out a little bird sitting on a twig. So I'm just going to put a piece of paper under here so you can see that a little bit easier. And for now, I'm just going to leave it tucked in under my elastic. I'm going to take my black Sharpie, or if you don't have a Sharpie, you can use a black pencil crayon, anything else that would help to make your little figure stand out. So I've kept this very simple. I will do a little eye there. And then I have a little tree trunk that he's sitting on a little branch. And then I'm just going to color in. I'm going to do the background on this one today. So I've got my watercolors all ready to go. And I'm just going to paint up to my fold line. And I'm going to go around my little bird. Now I do have my watercolor quite liquidy, which is normally how we want to use it. Because this paper is so thin, we don't want to saturate our paper too much. So I wouldn't go over it. Once you get the color on, just get it spread around and leave it. Otherwise it may fall apart on you. Because I've got this piece of paper underneath, I can go right over the edge, and that's not going to hurt anything. And we'll just fill in the whole sheet of paper, leaving my figure standing out. You can do it in reverse if you like. Leave the background with the text on it, and then just paint in your little creature. Here I could add some little details if I wanted to, so I could put some little lines in my branch just to make it look a little textured, and maybe in his wing. Maybe I'll just do a few little lines in there. And that page is complete. It will take time to dry. So here's the beautiful thing about this is if you want to, you could slip this out and set it off to the side to dry. So that way if you're working on another page today, you're not going to interfere with it. The next thing I want to do is show you how to do a little envelope. I'm just going to slide this out of the way. And for this you can use all kinds of things. I've used a piece of text paper here. Here's a piece of paper that I had paint painted on, scrap. Here's a piece of designer kind of paper. And what you want for this, which works best, is to have one side that's plain so that you could write a message inside here if you wanted, and the other side that's patterned. However, this one, because it had text on both sides, I just tucked a piece of paper on the inside and then I could put a word inside there. Okay, so if you have a patterned piece and a white piece, what you want to do is put the patterned face down on your page. And at the top, you want to fold these two edges in so that they line up in a straight line here best you can, and that these line up too. So just press those down. And then leave a little bit of space in between here, and then fold this over and press that down. And then the bottom just folds up. Lift this up to meet. You don't want it to go quite up to the crease there. So leave a little bit of space, and then this can fold down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this flap down just so it stays put. And then fold that over. Now what I did was I cut out a little heart out of some yellow paper that coordinated with the background, and I just glued it on just at the point of the heart so that the tip of my envelope could just tuck in there, and that will keep it closed. And then I could come back to my journal and I could just find a spot. Maybe it goes on here, maybe I want to put it on sideways, maybe I want to use a little fancy paper clip and clip it on to a page, and that one's good to go. So any size of paper, you want to have a rectangle shape, and you also want to make sure it's going to fit on your page. So for example, this is a little bit too wide, so I would need to trim it down. And because it is an envelope, and we want nice crisp sides, here is one place where I would use my scissors. So I could line this up, fold this over, and I think that would be close enough. Trim this off with my scissors, and then go into my fold and create my envelope. Okay, so that's another idea to decorate your journal. And then the final one that I'm going to show you today is with some magazine pages. And I have gone through one of my magazines, and I've picked out some pictures and some words. So here I found one that I thought, oh, I really liked the balloon here, and I was going to cut it out, but then I thought, oh, I kind of like the whole piece. So I think I will keep that and just glue that onto one of my pages. And then I found this quote or words full of hope, which I thought would go terrific with that. So I am going to take one of my pages from my journal, and I'm going to find one that is close to that size. And I do want to cover up this Pizza Hut one. So I can take a look, and that's going to fit on there nicely. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull this out at the moment so that I can kind of measure what size I need for that. I'm going to line up this on here, and you can make it just slightly larger so that you know that it will fit, and we can always trim it off after. Then with a pencil, I can just draw on here, cut it out, and then I'm going to apply glue all around here. So I'm going to put a little piece of paper underneath here so I can get my surface all covered. And with my glue stick, I'm going to go around all the edges to make sure that that will seal all the way around. And then I usually just do a big X in the middle. Now, taking my junk journal page, I am going to put that right over top. line it up best I can, smooth it out with my hands. Might get the odd wrinkle, that's all right. Just want to make sure it's completely pressed down. And then I can trim off any excess. And a little bit at the top here. I didn't do a very neat job of that, so I'll just tidy that up a bit. Okay. And then I can take a look at this verse that I cut out, or words that I cut out, and decide if I want it to go there, if I want it to go down the side. And I think I'm going to put it down at the bottom. Now I'm going to trim it off a little bit. And I'm even going to follow the top of my letters here a little bit and narrow it down. And then I'm going to glue that on. And there's a complete page done in my journal. Now this side I painted black, which you could paint any color that you preferred. And then I also went through my magazine and I cut out pictures that I had, or that I found pleasing to me. And so I could play with them and see if I want to put something like that down on top. If you don't have black paint, you could also just use some black paper. So tear up a bunch of pieces of paper from a magazine article. So in this one, I think I took it from this page here, from this man's jacket. And so just, I could use this piece here and just collage over top, cutting and tearing and gluing down till you have a full black page. Or it doesn't have to be black, it could be whatever color you would like it to be. So say I found a lot of green sheets, I could do a whole sheet just tearing these, gluing them down to fill in my whole page. Something like I've got done here. So this was another flyer, and then I just glued all these down. This folded up, so I think it was actually this piece of paper here. I just glued a strip on there so that this place for a tuck of some kind would have a different color to it. And then play with some pictures that you might find. Like I found these pencils that I thought were kind of cool. So that could go down an edge. So just something to think about when you're flipping through magazines. Look for pictures, look for words, and keep them in a little bin so that when you go to look for decorating your pages, you'll have some little things that you can cut out and glue on. So I've got lots of little ideas here that I can play with this page, and we'll see what I come up with. So that is it for today. That should give you some things to work on, and I hope you'll enjoy the process. And from my heart to yours, stay happy, healthy, and caring. See you next time.